For me, the definition is somebody who is not safe at home, whether it be, a child, and you think now that there's two different things at play here. It could be a partner, but it could be a child. We've got a generation that are staying at home later. It could be somebody where the child abuse hasn't ended. To me, domestic violence is not being safe in your home, but it's also not being safe in your own head. You can be treated really, really badly and not even know it's wrong. Now, when I phoned 1-800-RESPECT, and the process is when they've assessed, and it's changed a lot since it changed hands, but when I did it, they assessed that clearly I was in danger, and they put me through to a refuge. Now, at the time, I felt like I was applying for a job I was completely unqualified for. I didn't think I deserved that room. There were people that was really abused, and what was I doing? But I knew I needed somewhere to go. And I also had we lived in a really affluent neighbourhood. I had famous neighbours. People like me shouldn't be taking refuge beds. That's for poor people. What I didn't get is once I left him, I would have access to nothing, and I was actually one of the poor people. But when I was having that interview, if you like, I saw it as an interview. She didn't. She was talking me into leaving and being safe. Talking me into it's the wrong thing. She was letting me know they were there for me. But once I'd had time to process and gone through the AVO, somebody said to me it was the most extreme case of domestic violence they had come across in their 30-year career. Isolation, like I've talked about, the psychological abuse, it makes you emotionally isolated. You start not to trust anyone. And interestingly, the two things that keep people trapped in violent relationships are a lack of community support and finances. So we really are in a position to make a big difference. And drugs and alcohol, they play a part. They're not all of it, by a long way. And I tell this story so people get how complicated it was. My ex-husband loved to party, but he was a champagne partier. Do you know what I mean? He would go to events and there would be a limo home. Couldn't always afford it, but that was the safest I could be. If he'd been out partying, he was happy. So for me, a drunk husband was a safe husband. So this image of somebody coming home drunk and losing the plot isn't all of it. The numbers are staggering. And this is from the PwC High Price to Pay report of 2015. So the cost of pain and suffering and premature murder is 10.4 billion a year. And I can say, just on a personal note, if I added up all the bills I had to rebuild, getting housing, getting mental health care for my children, just on one personal note, the costs are staggering. So we look at the cost to government, and the cost to government are so high because I left and I had $33 to my name. I had 2 bags of clothes and 1 bag of toys, and more debt than I can mention and keep functioning through this talk. So a lot of the burden on rebuilding my life, and I'm just one person, went to the government. And on top of that, I went from being a high income earner that was putting into the country to somebody that was taking out. So they lost my tax and I became somebody they had to spend money on. And the cost to businesses is estimated to be 3.4 billion a year. That's not a little number. So I see what we do in these programs and supporting employees and staff from my financial head. This makes financial sense.